Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check brought to you by BB. There is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about markets. Welcome back, guys. Hard to believe it's already Thursday, and hard to believe, even harder to believe, honestly, that we are already halfway through May. I'm a little bit redundant in the sense that I always say when when you work in markets, when you operate in markets, when you participate in markets in the way that we do, time tends to fly by pretty quickly. But we're going to have a great show for you all today. Break down where things are in the markets and obviously where we think they could be headed next. But I'm Tommy. You guys also know me as Snorlax. I'm joined by Tucker, Max, and of course, Chef Jackus. Welcome, guys, and welcome to the audience as well. Before we can get started and I think talk more about, because we are dipping a little bit today, right? Seeing a little bit of weakness, I think, as the VIX is potentially, maybe we're probably, I would say, preceding some sort of tiny move higher on the VIX. Maybe that comes next week, maybe over the next few days. Before we can get started and talk about that, you should know by now what I'm going to ask you. And that is, could you please hit the like button for us? I'm not going to get on my knees and beg today. I'm not going to, probably not going to show you soybeans either, but I always appreciate when you guys hit the like button. And of course, you help us keep the lights on here at BB when you do. It's a little act, a small gesture, but it means a lot to the team and of course to our channel. But let's talk about the markets now. Let's talk about the charts. As the title says, memes are dipping here a little bit. I think we're seeing some general weakness from altcoins, right? As Bitcoin is, I've seen a bunch of people joke about it, or not even joke about it on Twitter. They're like, learn how to spot the Michael Saylor bid. And I'm thinking to myself, how do you spot the Michael Saylor bid other than the fact that price is going up? But I got a kick out of that, right? But I mean, I think Bitcoin had the opportunity to take the high earlier this week. If it did, you probably would have seen some higher extensions on things like ETH and Solana, which that wealth effect would have continued to trickle down into altcoins. Instead, you backfilled some of the wick and ended up rejecting. Now we're bleeding, about to trade back potentially into that low towards 100K. I guess we could potentially fill in some of the inefficiencies that we formed on that move up Bitcoin had last week. If that happens, I'm sure this altcoin weakness will continue. But ultimately, I do think, pullbacks on altcoins are very likely to form structural high time frame, higher lows at this point. Given the ignition that we've had, not just from Bitcoin, but I want to add ETH in here as well. Which the move that ETH has put in is kind of self-explanatory at this point. But, when you have effectively a, what was it, 1,100 point move almost on ETH without any pullback, really any pullbacks at all, it does make sense that, maybe we do fill in some of these inefficiencies here over the next few days. And I would say vice versa for things like Bitcoin and Solana. But that's not to say, even though we've had, I think, a little bit of altcoin weakness, the trenches have been alight. I haven't been quite as deep into the, the internet capital markets meta on chain for Solana as some other people. But I do know there are people, for example, like Wabi, who has absolutely been crushing it on chain in that sector. So shout out to him. Just a great example of, even when these exchange altcoins, when meme coins top, locally speaking, you're going to have a lot of opportunity as capital just tends to rotate down the risk curve. But equities, I think Powell spoke this morning. Don't think he said anything too extreme to either way. People are still wanting Powell to cut rates. If you look at the 10-year, it has been continuously strong, I think, this week, which is something to probably pay attention to. A little bit of weakness today, which I would say is a good sign. We definitely want to see this roll over. I would argue risk needs it to roll over, but that's enough yap for me, guys. How are we doing? What are we seeing in the markets? What do we make of the moves that we're seeing this morning? And obviously, where are we headed next?
Dude, I'm just hoping people don't get shaken out here, because that's going to be one of those like crippling depressive states that they enter if they do get shaken out here. This to me is a very, very like looking at Bitcoin or just majors in general, some pretty obvious levels that we came into. This is a very brief, shallow pause before I think we probably go a lot higher. I think people often kind of just forget that we don't go literally straight up. We're like, in hindsight, observing a previous rally, it looks like it went straight up, but it actually doesn't. You get these little like pauses where you get a few days of chop or like little pullbacks, things like that, that really should be used more for, tweaking positions that you already have, making maybe more efficient kind of portfolio weighting, looking for new positions. Like, this is not where you get shaken out. This is where you back the truck up on these shallow pullbacks. These are the optimal entries. I think your probably worst case scenario is you take out Monday's low on Bitcoin, dip into that green box. Maybe you get sub 100K. Big, huge maybe, honestly. Like, you might be sideline waiting. I have no idea. Doesn't matter to me. I did my dirty work below the green box, as did most of you guys. So I just really hope that you guys don't get shaken out here. Like, I really think that this is where you just hold and give it a chance to play out. If you're going to lose trend here and lose momentum, it's going to roll over slowly. You'll see it coming. What I'm seeing right now is not what I would consider to be any flashing red lights of we are about to lose trend and start working our way back down. This is just another potential shallow higher low after being 30,000 points off of the low set like 30 days ago. So I think we're going to go a lot higher from here. I think this is just a little micro shakeout. I think it's kind of fuck you higher season, and I think it's coming very soon. So I guess I just hope that people don't get shaken out before the real move begins. This is the grind up to value area high of a 5-month range. We're going to pause here, and then we're going to smash through it. That's what happens. Like, that's just what happens. So I think so much higher, right? Just do not get shaken out. Don't get shaken out here. I think it's going to pay off, honestly. Hopefully that was super clear. I didn't try to beat around the bush at all. So there you go. Now you can you don't even have to listen to the rest of the show. You're like, I just tuned in. I wanted to hear what Max is thinking. All right. I saved you a lot of time today. It's exactly how I'm feeling. Very direct.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think we look okay. I think we probably come a little bit lower. Just looks a little heavy, and Jerome yapping always does something like that. But I think just some garbage like that, maybe. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, I mean, we had a little pause right here, a little pause right here, probably right there. So yeah, generally still feel good about majors here.
As ironic as it is, I feel like we can take signal from Farcoin, right? Like the risk on indicator of the market, it rejected at range highs yesterday. And one of the things we were kind of discussing, I think it was yesterday's show or the show before that, how, we couldn't tell whether or not it was, showing strength and consolidation, prepping for a breakout, or whether, its inability to break out was showing us that, majors were probably going to have a hard time legging up again. And right now it seems like it's going to be the latter. I tend to agree with you guys that we're probably looking for some sort of shallow higher low here. I think it makes sense that we see some sort of move out of the VIX realistically over the next few sessions into May OPEX. And I'm looking to be a bidder on altcoin dips. Maybe not like right here necessarily, but I do think there are going to be some good opportunities here in the next few days.
Definitely. I mean, the VIX, yeah, I see what you're saying, but I think it's any kind of move here is probably gets faded again, But
I agree. Yeah, I think it would take some sort of like a pretty substantial headline for the VIX to spike materially, but that's not to say that, worst case scenario for the VIX is probably like what, 30, 35. I would say at this point, talking about from the standpoint of like an investor, I'd be surprised if the VIX got anywhere above that, quite frankly, just given the market structure of it here.
Yeah, there's a little gap
30,
that I mean, I feel like
I see
honestly
that's
that
worst case.
I feel like the gap fill is your worst case for me personally. I mean, okay, I don't want to say worst case because like some bullshit could happen and we could get a crazy spike. Barring some unforeseen headline or escalation, which you can't necessarily like know about that in advance unless you're Nancy Pelosi or something. So she'll probably play the spike, but I feel like that line that Tucker has is ooh, look at that. Look at that. What a lucky day to be on market check. I feel like that's probably your cap right there, truthfully. I don't even know if you get that. I feel like this thing just looks like it wants to nuke down to the lows, honestly. But I don't want to say that you couldn't fill that little gap there because I think that's going to get filled at some point. It seems like every previous gap works out pretty damn well for fills. So
I think it makes sense for wherever this bounces into. Like I think it's going to form the higher low for things like Ethereum. I mean, for Bitcoin, obviously as well, and then strong altcoins, obviously too. That confluence, I think, will line up pretty well. The timing probably a little bit harder to play, but
yeah.
Yeah, if you gap fill on the VIX, you'd probably fill some of these.
Exactly. Yeah. Could you draw a line from the underside of the all-time high supply there, Tucker? Like basically January, like the underside, a little bit lower,
All this,
Yeah, just the
or like
low
all
right
of
there.
this.
That yeah. Okay, so like
Yeah.
I think that could be a nice shove spot if we are gonna see the VIX fill that gap and we are gonna see higher. I feel like that would be a pretty obvious like fill the gap on the NASDAQ, fill the gap to the top side on the VIX, hold that all-time high supply, reclaim, retest, and then my QQQ 600s for end of year end up in the money, which would be sweet. So
Yeah, 500 on QQQ would be that spot. Let's see. IWM still kind of weak.
did it conquer that diagonal trend line yet from the high?
No, doesn't appear.
We get stuffed. Ooh,
Yeah, we got stuffed.
that looks like inevitability though to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might just have to come down a little bit. Yeah, stuffed at the trend.
what do you guys think about United Health?
Dude.
Chart? I know there's been a lot of storylines around that ticker over the last few months, but this is quite the storyline developing.
Crazy.
I actually don't really know much about what's going on, so I might need you to give me the quick summary.
Well, the chart
Can you-
looks like the Thanksgiving turkey meme, you know.
Can you put on the weekly over there? And this chart looks to me like that old-fashioned meme. What do we have here? Oh my god, damn rug pull live. The thing went to zero.
It went to zero.
Yeah.
Dude. That's crazy.
Someone is probably a stockholder of this watching and is like, what the fuck are these guys talking about? Are they laughing at me? Like I'm bleeding here.
So what happened? They're under investigation now or something? Does it have to do with that Luigi guy?
Yeah, I think so. I don't really know.
I mean, that's not related to why it dumped. I think over the last like week or so, there's a fraud. I think there's a legitimate fraud charge for the company right now. That's why they dumped so much this time. But hold on, let me. I brought it up and I didn't even know.
Mhm.
What does the Dow Jones look like? Because I think this is a part of it.
Is
Is
it?
there-
I guess it's like not that different.
is United Health like your I don't know, insurance company, or like
It is
you
an
know?
insurance company, yeah, for health.
Yeah. And do you guys like actually use it?
I don't, but I know a lot of people that do. Like they're pretty big,
Yeah.
especially where I live.
Yeah.
But I don't use them. Honestly, I could give a fuck that their stock is down, man. Like health insurance companies are literally the worst. Like they're criminals, man. Honestly,
It looks like a crime of the day chart, honestly.
So
Dude,
you're saying
there's no greater crime than insurance companies. Like they are just the worst, man. Like
Mhm.
you're
honestly,
basically saying nobody's gonna cry about them except them, maybe.
yeah, dude. No one cares. Like here, let's put it this way: the only people that care are people that are investors in the company. Nobody has any like true allegiance to an insurance company, man.
Yeah.
They're the OG scammers. Okay, they're terrible. They treat people like shit. Like it's a pain in the ass to get your claims, paid out or anything. Like even just like basic shit. Back when I was in real estate, like
Yeah.
you'd have some issue and like they'd send some like adjuster out to the property and like, well, I don't know if we can cover that because of like, this looks like it was there before. This is, this doesn't look like, I don't know. It was always just such a pain in the ass, man. Like that's why they have so much money, is because like they don't pay out shit they're supposed to pay out,
Yeah.
And I understand there's fraud that goes both ways, right? People try to take advantage of it. But I'd say for the most part, they're the bad guys. So honestly, whatever. They probably
really
whatever
tough.
they're being accused of, they probably did it, honestly.
It's really tough. I think you nailed it, because like there is lots of scumbags who literally just who will burn down their own house just to claim the money out of the insurance company. But then there's actually people who just like they live a normal life, and very accidentally their house will burn down, and they'll be like, I'm paying my insurance for 30 years, can you guys help me? And they'll be like, no, you had a cockroach there and that's the reason why it burned, and you didn't have the inspection 2 years ago, sorry, no money for you. And so it's like, yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
They're criminals, man. It's a shitty business. It's really bad. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, United Health will probably be fine, man. They're huge. They'll pay some fine. Hedge funds will start piling back in when it's bottomed out. It'll probably make new highs again later on, but I don't know. I don't have any firm opinion. Like, who cares?
I suppose it
Probably
depends
did
on
something
an
bad.
insurance company, right? Like the quality of it, because I like just like with financial advisors, there are good and bad ones. I suppose the same thing with insurance companies. So not sure which
There are
ones
some
are the
good
good
ones.
ones.
There are some insurance companies here I know of that like ultra wealthy people use for their homes. And basically it's like if you file anything, like you're getting the money, like you pay extra to not have to deal with the bullshit. And it's really expensive. I know some people, they have like, multi $3 or $4 million houses. I can't remember the name of the company, but I was talking to him about it. Anytime they need anything, it's paid out instantly. Like they don't give a shit what you say happened, what it is. Like you pay a lot of money every month and you don't have to worry about it. But like every average Joe insurance, like, the big ones, yeah, you're cooked, man. Like
I'll say I've had a pretty good experience with my insurance company through all the medical bills that I've had to pay. They've been pretty good. The problem I found, I won't get like too deep into it, is just like what they charge you at the hospitals. We won't get too deep into that, but
it's
you have the emergency room. Yeah.
Perpetual cycle of scamming everybody is what it is. Like you get overcharged for the medical stuff. And then they know they can do that because the insurance company pays for it, and the insurance company overcharges you. So it's just like the cycle of everyone ripping each other off.
The snake eating its own tail.
That's life.
Yeah, that's life. Yeah, it's I don't know.
I feel like
the thing is I'm talking about something that I'm not even like, I'm not an expert in this. I just know from my own experience, it's been annoying in the past, is where I'm coming from. Yeah, but
What
I'm
is
not
the
like
name
some
of the
insurance
insurance
expert.
company, Tommy?
I'd have to. I think it's like U.S. Health Group or something like that. It's a private. It's a private plan.
Yeah. Why did you guys pick like Joe? Like why is everything an average Joe? Why isn't it like, I don't know, average Tommy, average Tucker?
Average Jack is.
Jackass.
I don't know, man. We could put it into Chat GPT and figure out the origin of Average Joe.
It would be interesting.
There's probably a funny story around it if I had to guess.
Yeah.
For sure. I think it's because Joe is just a super common name.
Yeah.
You know?
I actually feel like it's
one
not,
syllable, rolls off the tongue.
Like, how many people do you know named Joe?
Joe Mama.
Like 3.
Why isn't it
I
like
think I know like
Michael?
2 people.
I'm sorry.
Isn't Michael more common?
I don't know. I think Joe
just
probably used to be more common.
But it sounds better, right? Like it sounds better to say average Joe than average Michael.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I've known a Joey once. That's it. I don't think I've ever known a Joe, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
I know one Joe. Good guy.
Not so average Joe. I think that's a good spot to pivot to our crime of the week. Sorry if I don't think anybody holds this coin, but can we pull up Jelly Jelly?
What the heck is Jelly? That's a real coin.
This is why Hyperliquid got whatever. When was that?
Oh my.
This is the coin that Binance tried to use to take Hyperliquid out.
Yeah.
Oh. So this is a true crime ticker.
That was this, Tommy, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, it had to be.
If you go on an even lower time frame, though, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Oh wow. Look at that. Someone just got liquidated for every penny in their account on that move.
I had a friend who longed like minimal size on this and got smoked just because it nuked like 80, what was it, like 70%?
Well, dude, Hyperliquid shouldn't have even listed it. That's a good point. They should not have even had it on there.
Well, he was trading it on Bybit this week. I think he just bought some for like a momentum play and then just like, thanks for your money. Didn't have a stop on it.
That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know why Hype will list stuff and then give it like 20x leverage and then they, you know.
Well, listing it wasn't the problem because it was a pretty popular on-chain ticker for Sol at one point, but I think the 20x leverage part was the issue.
Yeah, that's fair.
You have to make sure that crime is margin intensive.
Margin. Do we think Hype is gonna hit some all-time highs here?
I mean, this is a big supply.
Are you still in the Hype $50 waiting room?
I mean, it's only a matter of time, in my opinion, before Hype goes to $50. So yes, I would say I am. I don't know if I do it quite from here, but it might pull back a bit first.
I'm with Tommy.
What are you looking for? Like 22, 21?
You can see like 16 again.
16. Whoa.
Tommy, relax.
16. Listen, I agree with the 50. I'm just saying, and I'm not disagreeing with 16 either. I'm just saying that 16 for Hyper is probably like 120 for Sol or 2,100 for ETH.
Yeah, that would be pretty deep. I don't know. I'm not expecting like, I guess we'll just see kind of where it comes down into. I think we're seeing more puking, generally speaking, from memes, but you usually see Hype puke last because people will get wrecked and then sell their Hype to start trading perps again. I don't know. I probably like 21, 22 is a little bit more likely.
What if we just bottomed here and go straight up?
No pullbacks ever?
Better for my per bags.
Straight up?
Well, I just bought a bunch of per, so I'm really not happy to hear that 16 is on your table, unfortunately, because I'd be really turbo wrecked short term.
No, it'll probably be wrong because I've talked about this before. It's like Hyperliquid is very much isolated from market pullbacks because its perps aren't really listed many places that are super liquid, like Bybit and OKX. Yeah, sure. They're not gonna move the market more than Hyperliquid volume. I'm pretty impressed with how strong it's been today, honestly.
Per hype.
Hype. I guess both. What is per trading at right now? It's down a little bit. It was strong last night when I went to bed.
Yeah, I think it wants a little lower. I mean, generally should do this though, right?
Yeah, I could I'm not sure quite where per will come down into, but you know, I think the bottom's in, so I don't really have a problem bidding it.
Yeah, maybe 13s, 12s, probably 12s. I think 12s for sure. About old Pepe. Where's the other? I guess this is the one.
What do you guys say to Ray Dalio purchasing 320 billion of gold?
Is that what he did?
I thought you were gonna say Alibaba because I know he bought that too.
He bought Baba too, but he bought 320 billion worth of gold.
I think he's buying the top. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, look at that. Gold's coming back, I think.
I think it'll distribute for a while, but I don't know that I'm seeing like a super aggressive pricing on gold that much higher.
Yeah.
Like to me, it gave a blow off top, locally speaking. I mean, if you're buying gold, you're probably expecting huge turmoil here in the not so distant future. Even then, I mean, it's just kind of like, I don't know. I mean, if you look at history of some of the highest turmoil periods that we've had, gold topped with asset prices anyway. So I don't know why he'd be buying gold at these prices.
Why would you buy gold when you could buy Bitcoin?
I agree.
Why would you buy Bitcoin when you could buy Pepe?
I think we looked at this yesterday or 2 days ago, maybe. That Bitcoin gold chart.
It's so egregiously bottomed, man.
This is like 90K Bitcoin right here, basically, I think.
Look at that demand holding there, bro. Look at that retest, the perfect retest.
I don't know.
It looks like a lagging total 3 chart is what it looks like to me. You know the total 3 structure that was just printed?
Yeah.
It looks identical to that, in my view.
Yeah, it does.
See that?
It gave that super
exact same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, likes are in shambles, guys.
God, it's a bear market for likes.
The sky is blue, Max.
I don't even know what to say right now, man. I feel like I'm gonna smash my keyboard or something. I don't know. Maybe violence is the only answer today. I don't know. I don't know what to do. All right, well, here's what we're gonna do, guys. Let's run the likes up. We're gonna run a BB terminal commercial. hopefully you guys will consider signing up and using the terminal. There's a free option as well as a paid option. The paid is absolutely the best, the creme de la creme, the cream of the crop, the best. It's everything, all you could ever want. But if you don't want to pay for it, then use it for free. But here's a 60-second commercial to tell you a little bit about it. Let's run the likes up and we'll be back in 60 seconds.
Tired of outdated trading tools, confused charts, dozens of tabs, endless stress? You're not alone. Introducing BB Terminal, your all-in-one command center for crypto trading. Track your portfolio, monitor the markets, stay ahead, all in one place. From chaos to clarity, from struggle to success. BB Terminal.
Well, well, well. Well, well, well. Let's see. Likes are pretty good, guys. Likes are pretty good. They ran it up a little bit. Okay, hang on now. Hang on now. Look at this. BB Terminal exceeded my expectations, not gonna lie. This is from Techie Guy. He's a techie guy. He likes tech. He uses tech. So a guy that likes tech, uses tech, enjoys tech, is familiar with all types of tech, said BB Terminal exceeded my expectations. And then he said he's not lying about it. Do you understand what kind of endorsement that is? Have you signed up for BB Terminal yet, guys? Have you signed up for BB Terminal? Do you need a coupon code? Is that what it's going to take? I'll give you a coupon code. Who out there in the comment section right now is like, you know what? I'm actually really curious, but I need a coupon code. Is there anybody out there that needs a coupon code to get them over the hill, right? You're like, you know what? I want to support BB. I love those guys. I have this crazy endorsement from Techie Guy right now on the screen, and like, he says it's great. Maybe I should give this a try, but I need a coupon code. Is there somebody out there that's like on the fence but needs a coupon code? Because I'll give you a coupon code, but I need to know if you're out there. Because I don't want to make a coupon code and then you don't use the coupon code. I'm waiting for that comment. Who's ready for a coupon code? You just let me know. I'm here when you're ready, okay? But thank you, Techie Guy.
Somebody was asking about the 10-year. I don't know. I think it's cooked below here, but until then, I want to leave. I don't want to see it lose a few levels, but I don't know, man. We do want this chart to go down. We do want this chart to go down. I don't know, Tommy. What do you think about yields?
I mean, I've been saying I think the market ripping the way that it has kind of moved yields higher. I don't really have like too strong of an opinion, but I know that, you know, one of the things that will bring yields down is ultimately people, or rather countries, buying our treasuries. So, you know, the deals with places like China and Japan are going to be pretty important for that reason, right? Because if they're buying our treasuries, they're going to keep the 10-year down. If they're not buying our treasuries, then our debt obviously is going to be devalued a little bit more, and then yields are going to go higher, and you get this like whole kerfluffle of bad juju. But yeah, no, I mean, I think that the deals with China and Japan in particular are really important to something like the 10-year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We definitely need this to come down. Is your what's the Taiwanese dollar thing you were looking at, Tommy?
I think it was just something related to like monetary policy. I actually put it on, I overlaid it on ETH. It actually kind of communicated or telegraphed rather the huge pump that we had on ETH, ironically.
bro. Pull it up. Pull it up. Let's see it. Pull it
Guys, I
up.
saw some people in the comment section. Here you go, 30 days for free. I want 10 million signups now. Okay, 10 million. That will yield us $0 for 30 days. But I'm happy to do it. 30-day free trial, Terminal 30. The link is either bbterminal.com or I put a link in the comment section. Enjoy your 30 days for free if you would like it. It's there for you. It's absolutely fantastic. And it's getting better. Guys, we're rolling out some new features second half of this month too. So it's going to be really, really cool. We got, I believe, 22 new custom proprietary indicators dropping second half of this month. 22. Yeah.
Oh,
That's super accurate. That literally happened. That's not even Photoshop. Like, that's a real picture that happened.
Just do it, man.
That's real. That's a real picture. That's happening right now in real time. Just do it. Just do it. I'm giving you 30-day free trial. Just do it. You're gonna love it.
Tommy,
That's how confident I am. You're gonna love it. I'm like, just try it. Just use it for free because you're gonna love it. It's convenient. It's nice. You're gonna love it. It's great.
What was that, Tucker?
Let's see the chart.
What chart?
Tommy, the Taiwanese dollar overlaid with ETH. Come on now.
Oh, I
What are we talking
tweeted it. Man, I missed the trade. The trade's gone.
Let me pull it up though. I want to see how it called the ETH pump. Is it actually working like that?
Let me pull it up. I haven't looked at it in like a week.
Since we are still on the yield though, we had the 30-year basically touching 5% again. We know what it cost the last time. It front run it super tightly, but something tells me that we might still hit it again later, like later this month, maybe.
The 30-year you said?
The 30-year, if you're gonna pull it out, it
looks
SVB. Scary. What?
You talking about SV? Wait, what are you talking about?
The 30-year, the 5% on 30-year.
We've tagged it 3 times since 2022. October, the bear market bottom, I'm assuming is probably what you're referencing.
No. I'm just talking about the 5% on the 30-year.
I know.
Yeah. I'm just saying that when we touched it in what was it? In April, that was pretty scary. They had to jump in and purchase some bonds, pretty much, and keep it under 5%. But this chart looks like it wants to at least do a fake above. And I think that is going to cause something.
That will stimulate the market, is what you're saying.
I think so. I think it will first scare it and then it will stimulate it.
I think so. I think that's a good measured take. Just wonder what that's going to be. I think some of that will probably be dampened by the structure of the VIX, which doesn't look particularly constructive, but is due for some sort of move up at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It looks identical and it makes sense to TLT reversed. Which is, by the way, the reason why you can do TA on yields. Some would argue that you cannot do that.
I would not be one of them.
So
maybe Tucker, if you would add TLT and inverse it to this same chart.
Do this and add TLT and invert it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's the same chart.
They are the same picture.
Mhm.
They are the same picture.
So you're expecting probably a pullback on something like the S&P down into like 54, 5,500, I would assume.
I'm not sure about the numbers right now, but yeah, I think this will break to the upside. That will cause SPX to drop, and that will cause Fed to stimulate and drop the rates.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just gonna, I imagine, raise the commentary for Powell to cut rates, right? That's just gonna heat up more and more. But
Too late.
Powell's not gonna be proactive. He's just not. I
He's
don't
gonna
really
be too late, Powell. He's
Yeah.
going to listen.
late,
He's
Powell.
going to stand to his nickname, the Trump nickname that he gave him, and Trump will run the victory lap. He'll be like, "I told you he's too late, Jerome. I told you."
You know what's so funny and like genius about the nickname? I mean, it's pretty like kindergarten-esque, but it's like it puts him into a corner where if he doesn't do what
Yeah.
Trump wants, then he actually becomes the nickname, you know?
Yeah, literally. And he, Trump also has the power to like pressure him in that sense.
For sure.
Interesting.
Too slow, Jerome.
Too late. Too slow, too late. Imagine you do lots of things right. He slept at first. When he started in his term, he was late. But I think he did pretty well in the recent years. But imagine just throwing everything in the bin and just going down into history as too late, Jerome.
Yeah.
That's sort
not
of
how you're gonna be
like if you are with a girl and you're labeled as too quick. Well, in financial terms, too late is the same equivalent.
the European mind will be studied. But true. It's funny. Because those nicknames that Trump gives people, they always stick. Like Pocahontas,
Oh, yeah.
Sleepy Joe, you know,
Yeah.
Crooked Hillary. Like they always stick.
Are we moving up a little bit here? We trying?
Oh no, the
They
bots are back.
return.
Oh.
The dark army is here. Let's give them no chance. No
Dude,
chance.
who sends these bots over here like midway through the stream?
No idea.
Does someone like see us go live and they're like, okay,
No,
time to
dude.
shit on
Sometimes
the-
they're here before we even get here. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm only worried that sometimes we are going to ban like a
know.
decent guy.
Same.
He's just like around and he's like, why did I get banned?
What is happening?
This is good. I remember that one day there was like 50 of them at minimum.
We're so bullish, guys. We're like right here. We're just like any day now. the liftoff begins.
I mean, this is that first test of that band, right? That middle band. So maybe like October.
Yeah, but we don't even need to test it too. It's more of like a let's just stay above it as a contingency, because like over here on this move up, you didn't even retest the 30-day VWAP. Like you kind of just moved sideways and then moved up. Here you did. Usually it's pretty damn good, but you don't need to. Like here, let's even go back like, you know, like last bull market. And I've seen this fractal thrown around quite a bit. Like, you guys know what I'm talking about, where like this was the Trump pump distribution. We just did this, and now we're like up in here. You know, you don't need to retest the 30-day until later necessarily. You might.
Yeah.
It's more of just like a backup, but I feel like this is just an obvious spot to like expect a little bit of a pause at. It's the same thing that happened like over here, right? You had your value area high. I had this red box, was just like your all-time high supply region, you know, little rejection, hanging out around value area high. Volume fusion gives you the perfect retest. And then you start sending, you know, but this whole time you're in like a, you know, you're just in like a structured, you know, kind of shallow uptrend after being in a downtrend for a while. And then you blast off. And I think that's basically what's going on right here, is that, you know, you're just in this like, you know, kind of shallow, this type of thing right in here. And you're just getting ready for the blast off candle, you know, and it might take another week, might take 2 weeks. I don't really know. I'm not expecting really anything crazy up here. Like, I know this would be gut wrenching for a lot of people, but like if Bitcoin dips sub 100K, like I think that's probably all you get, honestly. I don't really think you're going to get some crazy drop back down. Certainly not below like 94, 95. Like, not my expectation whatsoever. I feel like your worst case is going to be a retest of like the point of control of the 5-month value that we're still stuck within. It'll literally just be this. It'd be a retest of, like, honestly, worst case would be like 96, 97, somewhere around there. You could maybe wick down slightly, but I'm just not, I don't see below this point of control. I'll make the point of control a little thicker. I just feel like that's such a prominent region. I'd be very, very, very surprised if you just like nuked through that. It would have to be off of some like horrible news or something like that. I don't really see that.
Yeah.
That's, talk about mega demand, bro. And it extends a little bit out here, you know, like I have my volume profile pretty granular, but like this is your point of control, is like this whole kind of volume cluster right here of this histogram. Like you might just dip your toe in there, worst case, or something like that. But I don't, like, you just fought your way up 30,000 points to like retest value area high. You're going to new highs from here. It's very likely you're going to new highs from here. So if we lose our trend, then we talk about it. But it's like, this looks really good to me. Looks really, really good. And then moving over and like looking at something like tether dominance. I mean, we could even see, I mean, look at this right here, guys. You know, we just from today,
Yeah.
we swept that wick. We swept Monday's high for tether dominance, which also lined up with the yearly VWAP, right? Look at that. Bearish retest. I mean, you might not really get much more than this. Like, look at that. Look what happens when you lose the yearly, typically. You know, your yearly rolling VWAP. Like, that's when the real move commences. Let me take off the 30-day. When you lose that, you know, the yearly rolling VWAP, it's like that's when we have some fun. So that's my hope, is that this was a bearish underside retest of this yearly rolling right here, guys. I mean, that's nice. And by the way, here, I'll just remove these drawings. We were watching this in the Discord for a while. It likes to do this type of, you know, like you set like a low. You kind of fake like it's the next leg's about to begin, sweep it, and then it begins. We may have just done that right here. We may have just done that. That's my hope. And we've done that over here as well. There's been numerous instances I can point to where, like, you know, you just like sweep a, oops. Like tether dominance is kind of the alpha. Like sweep it, then the move begins. Sweep it, then the move begins. Sweep it, then the move begins. Go over here too. Sure, there's some examples. I mean, this was a beautiful one. Sweep that, move begins. And then even over here, right? Sweep this one. Then the bull market really kicks off, right? So it likes to do these kind of like predatory sweep fake outs before a real big move begins. So I don't know, optimistic viewpoint, 365-day rolling VWAP. We lost it, bearish underside retest. I don't know, nuke it, man. Literally nuke it. Like, what are we waiting for? Should be from here.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see it get too far back above that VWAP you talked about.
I don't think we will, truthfully. I guess it's possible. Like a really annoying scenario would be like, you know, coming back up into here.
Yeah.
Which is like, everything's on the table. I just kind of look at this setup and I'm like, why? You know, does it need to do that? Probably not.
Probably not, no.
Let's see if there's confluence with the USDT and USDC chart. So actually a little different for the USDT and USDC. See how it's actually at the rolling, which is a little different. I don't know which chart matters more. I don't think it's necessarily one or the other. But this one's actually at the rolling. So kind of a little bit of a discrepancy. See that?
Yeah, that one looks more likely to fill in a little bit of that drop, but
yeah. See, I don't know which one matters more.
yeah.
I mean, obviously Tether carries more weight than USDC because it's bigger. So I think probably makes sense to just kind of keep an eye on both.
Why not combine them?
Well, that's what it was. So the other one was combined. It was Tether and USDC.
Yeah.
So this is just Tether right here. So Tether, the USDC dominance, USDT dominance, which is what we're looking at right now. So just Tether dominance. This looks super bearish, like underside retest of the 365-day VWAP, already swept the wick. Tether obviously is more important than, than USDC. But then if I combine them and I look at USDC, it's actually stuck at the rolling VWAP yearly. So
Pick your Pokemon. Gotcha.
now let's just look at USDC. But then if we just look at USDC, it looks like it could nuke down more to the rolling right here. So see, I'm kind of leaning more towards looking at them individually, because then we could look at USDC and say, yeah, like we still got room down here.
I just cannot wait when this whole space will be interesting again. I feel like we've been basically, irrelevant for like 4 years, basically. like nothing has been happening. Pretty much, people, have just been drained and exhausted and left, and now they cannot even get above 100 likes. So it is what it is. But I just.
I was thinking about that, Jackus. I think I'm asking myself, what price does it become so like for normies to be completely unable to stomach Bitcoin going any higher? I think that's going to be the catalyst.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you guys know me. I am a respecter of the price and of the chart, regardless whether I like it or not, what I'm seeing. But one part of me cannot wait for that, because I think, everything will be exciting again. The other knows how much stupidity will be brought back. So I'm definitely not looking forward to that. But yeah, I suppose generally, we could bring back those good times.
I really just don't want people to keep getting farmed on all these scams, like that sucks to watch. Like all the extraction.
I just feel every time we have a slight pump, which we just got, so many scams just popped up again. So much shit went up. This was a perfect opportunity to totally reset the market and bid quality stuff. Instead, we have all these whiffs and all of that going up again.
And how about all the new tickers, man? There's immediately thousands of new shit coins that launch, and then everyone's just like, oh, this went well last time, let me just pile in again, and then they just get farmed, man. They just get completely extracted. And everyone's just like, oh, we're having fun again. It's like, dude, can you guys just try to invest? Just try to hold something that's going to have a shelf life of more than 7 days, please.
Not even 7 days. It's
literally
even less than that.
Yeah, you're probably right. 2 or 3 days. Try to hold something that has a little more than 48 to 72 hours of shelf life. Anything, man. Anything. Yeah. Anything other than literally just all you're doing is playing you're just gambling. You're playing blackjack, but you think you're doing something else. You're not. You're just getting completely farmed. You're going to lose. But I don't know. I think what's really kind of enlightened me with all this is watching people on the first inkling of a pump immediately revert back to what hurt them the first time, right? And they just can't help themselves. I think that actually what's crippling this industry is that most people in it are just complete gambling addicts.
Yeah.
Most people are completely addicted to gambling, and this is their drug. They'd rather gamble on crypto shit coins than they would blackjack or online poker or whatever other casino game they want to play. They'd rather just throw crazy money at this, and this is their dopamine hit. This is what gives them their fix. But it's bad, man, because they're not investing. They're likely not going to win. They're just they're playing scratch offs is what they're doing. They're doing pull tabs. They're just trying to get a quick little win. There's nothing about any of this shit that's going to last or stick. There's very few, right? Like if you want to invest in meme coins and shit coins, like pick something that has some price history, that has a base, that has some infrastructure, that has a chance of lasting more than, I mean, let's even set the bar low, a quarter. How about 2 quarters? Can it last more than 6 months? And then really take it a step up and say, hey, do I think that this has a chance of being a multi-cycle play? Right? That's kind of my criteria generally. I'll take on some risk. Do I think it has a shot, a small chance of being a multi-cycle play? The 9th derivative of some meme coin that's a brand new launch that's completely bundled supply has a 0% chance of lasting more than even a week. But the apes just cannot help themselves, man. They just have to throw money at it. They have to be farmed. They're like, you know what? I hate having money. I just want to give it to these scammers from, foreign countries. I just want to like give them all of my Solana. That's literally what it feels like you're doing. Stop doing that shit. Stop getting farmed.
Get
Stop
some
getting
help.
extracted.
You could so here's the thing I'll say about that. I mean, what you just described, Max, I'm sure Bitcoiners were saying about people playing altcoins in general for years. I obviously haven't been here since the space's inception, but I'm sure that rhetoric is not new in that sense. I think as these things last, though, progressively they're going to accrue more legitimacy and ultimately, I think, more capital allocation as a result of that. So these cycles that we undergo that are just kind of like constant pump and dumps, always, tickers going to zero after a few days. Eventually that does separate the wheat from the chaff, as Bitcoin has shown us. I'm not saying that, you like X or Y altcoin specifically is going to follow what Bitcoin did from a market cap standpoint, but we've already seen this play out in practice. Like eventually capital will find quality. And I have to feel, there's always going to be a cohort of degenerate gamblers on chain, but eventually, a lot of those people are just going to want to allocate it to things that they feel they can actually make money on.
I think that was really well said. Yeah, I think that I guess what I was hoping for at the end of last year was what you just spoke of, Tommy, was that inevitable flight to quality, right? And I know it sounds funny calling like certain shit coins quality and others not, but you know what I'm talking about. It's like, I'm not saying you, Tommy. I'm saying like, just like, you know what I'm talking about in general. I would consider something like Pepe to be like the highest high quality of like all the shit coins, right? It's like, it's going to last multiple cycles. It's going to go on to be a top performer this cycle. Like most people would be better served throwing their entire net worth into something like Pepe and literally just watching it every day, following analysis, letting it go up, and then trying to sell and get some profit at the end of the day, right? Maybe rotate back into stables or Bitcoin or something like that when the time comes. But instead, they're going to buy like Hasbulla's, like Hasbulla's cat or some random like celebrity grift that's going to turbo nuke to zero. And it's like, man, like you just like, how is that a lasting narrative? Like it's not, it's Tory Lane,
Jason
like all these
Derulo.
celebrity coins. Like who are the celebrities that have these coins? Like
Jason Derulo.
Yeah, Jason Derulo, like all these fucking celebrity coins, man. It's like really you're gonna and then they rug and they're like, he stole my money. I'm like, why did you buy some celebrity shit? Like, what did you think was gonna happen? Like
they chase the fast gains and then get upset that they lost their money. I also think there's just like not accountability in this space at all.
Zero negative accountability.
Like there's just none. And that's probably like the most frustrating thing out of all of it, honestly. But I'm not going to get on a soapbox about that. I think people need to understand that what they're doing is pure speculation and often it's just outright gambling. So you need to have a certain level of decorum if you're going to participate in crypto. Also, the cat, I see the comments talking about that was Peanut. That was
that was mine. That's why I have to keep muting it. She's being loud right now. Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
I recognize the Peanut meow.
Yeah. Butters isn't too loud, Tommy.
He is vocal, but not like usually during this show. It's more of like an afternoon thing. No, my cat's name is not Peanut, it's Butters. We both have a cat named after food. I just noticed that. Peanut Coin did do well though, like a week ago, talking about Jackus, I know you were talking about some of the things that pumped. Peanut went up what, like 200 or 300% in a day, something like that.
No surprise.
People see Bitcoin go and they're like, what is the biggest scam I can possibly long?
Look at that. That's
Literally.
crazy. Maybe the daily's better. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Bump Guy did show Peanut. I think that is why it pumped. I want to say like him doing that kind of cucked his fart coin long a little bit, right? Because you had all of this like liquidity get drained out of other Sol coin or out of fart coin and into other Solana coins. Mudang was the winner though.
What do you guys think of base fart coin here? It got hit pretty decent today.
Your helium, Jackus.
Is it? Oh no.
Yeah, you are.
I was actually talking about it. Oh, I'll wait for him to come back.
That always cracks me up when that happens.
It is what it is.
There he is. There's that deep voice. Jackus is back. I was talking about it this morning. I actually think it's at a really attractive level. I was talking about it earlier in the week. But let's move over and talk about it. Yeah, so this is what I was kind of looking for. I already have I'm not buying anymore. I already have my position. I've had it for a while. But I think this is a incredibly attractive level right here. So looking at it like this, I think this is like you're above your mid-range, broke out of this diagonal, got a little retest, kind of set this up right here. You've got demand below. I think it's a pretty clear invalidation for a trade. Little 8-1. Like if you start losing your mid-range, sliding down here, you could cut it if you're just trading it. But I generally think this is either the setup here or then you'd probably end up coming all the way down here to like 20 mil. But I think just given my bias for the market, like with where I think Bitcoin's going to go, where I think ETH's going to go, I think it'd be pretty unlikely for this to lose that demand level, like because I think that majors are going to bounce. So I think this is a pretty incredible entry, or at least a high probability setup, in my opinion. But again, if you lose that mid range, then you could probably scale out, buy back at 20, something like that. But I like the RR here for sure. What do you think about it, Jackus?
Well, I think I have nothing to add.
Oh, you agree with me?
Yeah.
Are you playing this one too? I don't think we've ever even really talked about it, but
yeah, I am. Needs to hold here. What a good spot.
It's a good spot. And like if you look at it against let's look at it against ETH just to see what it looks like. I actually don't look at this pair too much. I mean, this is somewhat interesting here. Like base Farcoin against ETH, clearly there's some trend that's being respected. I guess I would look at this right here. Is your range. I would say just watch this trend line. I think this will probably go into price discovery in the not too distant future. So just watch for that. Let's throw on the 60-day.
Is this the regular fart coin or the base one?
This is base Farcoin against ETH, so it's a pair chart. Yeah, I'd say for now, just want to kind of see it. I feel like it could maybe, like the ETH pair, could maybe take out these lows, which again doesn't mean base Farcoin has to nuke. It just could mean ETH, moves up or something. But like just generally bullish, like you're above the mid range. Clearly there's some like compression going on up here. I think it looks pretty good. And let's look at it against like Bitcoin, actually. Just curious. Looks good against Bitcoin too, honestly. Just kind of rolling through the pairs. I think it's going to do well. Yeah, I like that. Sitting above the mid range. This to me feels like good spot for a retest against the Bitcoin pair.
I think there might be a downtrend from all-time highs if you're gonna connect all the highs.
Ooh, chef.
There is.
Yeah, I mean this feels bullish. So I don't know. I'm generally pretty bullish on it. I think the setup is there. It's a small cap, so you have to kind of be okay stomaching volatility. I think that there's a decent chance that the base Farcoin Sol Farcoin pair is trying to carve out a bottom here. Kind of around this region, right around the mid range. There's some demand here. Let me see if there's let me see if I can draw a point of control on this or volume profile. Yeah, I mean, a lot of transacting in this general region. Maybe move down a little bit. But also, if you look at the volume fusion on this too, I believe it just flipped green for the first time, which is good. So this is the pair chart. So it went risk off up in here for base Farcoin versus Sol Farcoin. And now it's trying to go risk on here, giving early buy signals or early rotation signals. So yeah, I mean, that went pretty in depth, but generally I like the levels, especially if majors bounce. I think if you get ETH to level up again, it should do just fine. And then of course, obviously we know we need to look at Sol Farcoin. I'm pretty damn bullish on Sol Farcoin. Like it just looks to me like it's just kind of chopping higher until ultimately it's going to smash through, make a new high. This just feels like another one of these, like, range. Just feels like range. And then you're just going to like level up, have another range, and then eventually, start moving. So I like them.
Dad, how did we make all this money? Well, Sonny wouldn't believe it, but a few years ago, I put all our net worth into farts. What?
You wouldn't get it.
You would.
You wouldn't get it. You just simply wouldn't get it. Yeah. I mean, Bitcoin, man. Flip it. Let's go. Leave the low. Leave them all waiting for the low.
Close.
That'd be so funny if that low doesn't get swept and we just rock it. I would love that. I know so many people are waiting for that level, man. Like a lot of guys that I follow had this drawn. And they're like, this will happen. I will bid here. Sweep Monday low. Hit this demand level.
You know how crypto retests work. You either don't get them or you don't want to bid them.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I think we look good here, man. I mean, Wolf looks good here. Someone asked about Wolf. It's the same thing as Pepe. Like, it's the exact same chart. I'll show you what I mean. Like, you just wait for the Pepe breakout, and then you're good. Across the board, you make a lot of money. Pepe can flip this level. So Wolf up top, Pepe down below. I'll even just remove these for now. We just need one line to rule them all. See this?
I like that.
See that? So it's like, well, what's Wolf going to do? Well, just watch Pepe. Understand that you're holding a leveraged long on Pepe. It's the exact same chart. And as soon as Pepe does this, flips that and launches, then guess what? Wolf is going to flip this and launch, but launch even harder than Pepe. It's pretty simple. Obviously, really needs probably Bitcoin to break out. Needs ETH, probably like pushing 2,800. But when Pepe does this, which I think will happen eventually, then Wolf will do quite well. And if we look at the, you know, if you say, well, why shouldn't I just hold Pepe? Well, let's look at the Wolf Pepe pair. To me, this seems very bullish. So this is Wolf against Pepe. Stacking demand. Probably carves out a bottom right in here somewhere. So when Pepe flips that line, that gray line we talked about, and then Wolf flips its gray line, then you're probably going to see this. And you're probably going to see a rotation up to the range high. So from here, it would be outperformance of basically Wolf outperforming Pepe by like 3 or 4x at least. So when Pepe flips that line, Wolf is going to fly. It's really simple. All you have to do is just watch Pepe, and when Pepe is going to go up, buy Wolf and Andy. And when Pepe is going to go down, shove your Andy and Wolf back into Pepe to reduce downside if you're trading them that way, or stable up. And it's a really, it's kind of a unicorn, like on-chain levered long setup where I can't think of any other tickers that have such a tight correlation and pair trade so well, where you have the strongest altcoin in the market that's a large cap being Pepe, and you can basically buy perfectly correlated, you know, super reflexive beta to it and just speculate instead of opening up a levered long on, you know, a DEX or a SEX or something. All you do is just buy Andy or Wolf when you're bullish Pepe, and you just outperform Pepe by like 2 to 5x. So it's a really cool setup, honestly. Like we are honestly blessed that we have these options, because like I can't think of any other setup like this that has such a perfect, tight, positive correlation. So it's that easy. Just when Pepe is going to go up, shove Andy Wolf. It's that simple.
Yeah, that chart looks decent right there. I like
Yes,
it.
It does. You know, we could get a little more specific on it and maybe suggest like, you know,
Yeah,
like that, you know, if we wanted to. Kind of like if we wanted to narrow this in a little bit right here, you know, like you can kind of touch the extreme point, but it doesn't really matter, you know. Just wait for Pepe to go up and then just shove that. It's that simple. It's going to be lucrative, you know. And Andy's got the exact same line as Wolf and Pepe. See, remember the gray line on Pepe? If you don't remember, I'll put it back up for you. Look at that. Andy's the exact same chart as Pepe. Even goes back to these lows over here. So all you have to do, ladies and gentlemen, is just when Pepe flips this line, just shove Andy and you're going to outperform Pepe. Or just if you want to just shove Pepe, you can just do that. But you have your options to like layer it on however you want. They're the exact same chart, guys. I don't think people even realize like how rare this setup is, man. Like the fact that you can, I mean, look at this. Look at this. They're the exact same chart, right? Let's look at some percentages.
Yeah,
From
the
the
same
low
picture.
to the high. From the low to the high. Andy just doubles more or less what Pepe does, right? How about from here? This one was a little bit more actually. But like from this low to this high, Andy went up 960%. Pepe went up 350, right? So it's like kind of 2 to 3x's whatever Pepe does, and it's the same chart, guys. It's the same chart, which is crazy. I don't think people realize how crazy that is. So it's like, I'm just telling you right now, like this is the trade that I've been yapping about for a year, guys. Literally a year. Boys Club is all market maker manipulation. Be careful, people. It will moon. Just let me okay, let me tell you something. There is one market maker for Andy and Wolf. They don't market make on DEXs. They market make on the centralized exchange listings. The centralized exchange listings for Andy and Wolf have zero impact on price. The centralized exchanges pin price to the DEX price. All of the price action and the charting that you see on Andy and Wolf is 100% due to the fair market on-chain DEX pricing being random guys buying and selling. It has literally, and I'm not exaggerating, literally zero to do with any market makers moving price either direction. And by the way, that's not even how market making works. If a market maker is manipulating price up or down, they're going to jail. And by the way, we saw a couple market makers get hit really hard like months ago for doing just that. So one, that's illegal. Two, that is literally the antithesis of what's going on here. The exact opposite. Oh, he said the same comment again. Okay. All right. Well, anyways, just wanted to let you know that that's literally not at all what is happening at all. But anyways,
market makers are capitalizing on the arbitrage between the exchange and the DEX price.
I think what you meant to say is they're manipulating the market, Tommy. It's one giant conspiracy. I think we need to do some educational content on like I'll even invite
market
market makers on and have them explain what they actually do. Because I think a lot of people do not understand at all what market making is. I'm not claiming to be an expert. Like I've never done market making at all, but I have enough of an understanding of how it works to explain it to somebody that doesn't know anything about it. People, they have all these crazy, dude, there's some accounts that I follow or have followed in the past where like all they do is they try to like track large market making wallets and like explain how it's like a conspiracy, you know. They're like, this market maker is transferring, you know, money, you know, USDC on Solana, like getting ready to like do this and that, move
getting ready
price.
to meet the market.
Dude, that is literally just not at all how it works. It's just funny. And then everyone's like, oh my gosh, this is crime. Like Wintermute, what are they doing? And it's like, dude, what are you talking about? Like people are so confused on what it actually is. And they just believe the worst conspiracy theories that are not true.
I think it goes back to that whole lack of accountability thing we were talking about. Like if I take a loss on a trade, surely it couldn't have been my fault. My analysis was good.
It was market maker manipulation. That's what it was. It wasn't my fault. It was the market maker who stole my money, you know. It's crazy, man. But yeah, guys, I'm just telling you, when this flips on Pepe, if you are lucky enough to see a lag on Andy and Wolf, where like, for example, if you see Pepe lead and get up into here first and Andy is still churning right here, you shove that for a catch-up trade. You shove it. Okay. Watch that, draw that trend line on your charts. Watch that really closely. If there is a 24-hour lag, there's an awesome catch-up trade to be had on Andy and Wolf if that happens. All right, anyways, I think that's the end of the show. Guys, we're going to run a little commercial. I'll drop the discount code again. If you want to try BB Terminal, 30 days for free. Click the link in the comments. Use the code Terminal30 for 30-day free trial. Again, it costs you $0. The best product on the market. Portfolio tracking, derivatives data, heat maps, spaghetti charts, on-chain, everything. We also have 22 custom proprietary indicators built by us here at BB for all of our BB Terminal users dropping within the next couple weeks. These are 22 fresh indicators. You've seen some of them on the screen. I've shown you some of them. 22 of them, which are proprietary, meaning you cannot get them anywhere else, being uploaded to Terminal within the next 2 weeks. You can get a 30-day free trial using code Terminal30, guys. Terminal30. Terminal30, guys. We're going to run a quick commercial and then end the show, guys. Thanks so much for being here. Terminal30, we will see you guys tomorrow for another episode of Market Check. Everybody stay safe and take care.
Every morning, coffee in hand, I open up the BB Terminal. We built this platform to be your trusted companion, whether you're actively trading, investing for the long haul, or even dabbling in the degen space. Let's start with the BB portfolio. It integrates with over 60 blockchain networks and supports both wallet connections and manual entries, making it flexible enough for any trader. On the active page, you'll find advanced charting tools, complete with more than 21 custom scripts to give you deeper insights. Beneath that, our intuitive heat map helps you spot key support and resistance levels easily. But we know active trading isn't everyone's style, so we created the DCA page, equipped with over 35 thoughtful indicators. It's designed to assist you in making informed, strategic, and long-term investment decisions. We're genuinely proud of what we've created here at BB, and we continually strive to improve it every day.